Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Beacon Breakdown. I know it's looking a little bare here today. My regularly scheduled guest fell ill and had to back out at the last minute. So you still got me today. I'm going to recap all of our action from the past week. And I also want to take a little bit of time today to kind of talk about the history of Valpo Esports. Today was a big visit day here on campus. We had a lot of students around looking at all the different buildings, considering going here, and we had one recruit visit our esports room just a few hours ago. So, big topic of conversation was, how we came to be and what our backstory is. So, after I do a little bit of a recap, I'm going to kind of go into that on how we got here in our fourth year of the program. So, taking a quick look at our results from the past week, our League of Legends team picked up a 2-0 win over Windsor in the NECC. Very, very hard fought game one. I was on the mic for that one as well, and it was super back and forth. Valpo would win a fight, Windsor would win a fight, and nobody could just find an advantage in that first game. Finally, we broke through and we were able to win a very big fight on the Dragon. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at this highlight really quick here as I pull this up. All right, so here we are in game number one of Windsor versus Valpo, and we're going to take a look here as we open up the game. It's going to be on the Dragon, 34 minutes in, very late game, and as you can see, two teams are incredibly close, but Valpo in blue here is going to be able to take this fight. Thanks to Thonk Senpai, you can see him dashing around, picking up two huge kills there. Double kill pops up, and this is what kind of won them game one, really. After winning that fight, they would go on to take game two pretty dominantly. So it's a big bounce back compared to their week one, where they suffered a defeat. But talking with Coach Chase, kind of a common theme. This team takes a little bit to ramp up. They lost their first game last semester and ended up sweeping out the NECC. So I don't really have any concern for them. I'm only expecting more of that, you know, good fighting skills we saw against Windsor and them to bounce back in that way. They also this week coming up have CLOL, which is College League of Legends. It's the competition hosted by Riot Games, the developer of League of Legends. So pretty big competition, and they're taking on UBC Premier on Saturday. So that one probably going to be pretty tough. A lot of these teams are very high ranked, but it offers a lot of good experience for a team to kind of bounce back. Let me take a quick look at chat. I see we've got Jank, one of our legendary Rocket League players, and Cookie Kappa, one of our recruits. So very excited to see both of you in here. Um, and Thamos, man, we got the whole crowd coming out tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry it is just me, but next week we'll definitely have a guest. Talk a little bit about Rocket League, which and Father Pyro, man, we got everyone in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to talk a little bit about Rocket League, which most of you know very well. But last Friday, Brown team played against OSU Gray, and boy, was that a fun one. It came down to the wire in Game 5, and Valpo came up short, but there were a lot of moments where they looked very, very good, especially Game 1. And once again, I'd like to pull up a highlight here, if you give me a moment, from game number one of Valpo Brown versus OSU Gray. So as we take a look here, Valpo is actually in the deficit as the blue team here with under a minute left in this game. And I'm not actually sure. I think the goal is coming up very shortly here, but it's going to be Master Seb that's going to break this deadlock. Yep, we see Colrox pass it off to him here. A little bit of a fortunate bounce, and he picks up that goal. And we're actually going to leave this running because it's back-to-back action here. We're going to see another Valpo goal in just a few minutes, a few seconds, actually. As we can see, Master Seb score in the bottom right. Very impactful in this game. with 2 goals. We're going to keep it running, and there's Korax picking up the third goal to break this deadlock almost instantly. So, very good little moment of offensive explosion here from Valpo Brown. Unfortunately, as I said, they did go on to lose this series, but it was very good to see them playing how they played all throughout on Friday, and I think they have a lot to look forward to in this season. Uh, Clean back to back. Yes, sir, Koki Kappa. Um, then we have our gold team represented by Jank, and Jank was on the right end of a 3-2. In fact, he rescheduled Rocket League Gold rescheduled to yesterday, so they played on Sunday, and they managed to get the reverse sweep over Husky Gaming. Unfortunately, I don't have any highlights of that, but I'm sure Jank will tell you it was an incredibly exciting series, and very glad to see them pick up that reverse sweep. Our second one of the year, Valpo Brown had a reverse sweep earlier, so these are becoming more and more common for us. Very exciting to see these. Moving on to the Smash team, they were able to pick up a 2-0 win over Bethel. Very big. Um, Thamos says he decided to turn his monitor off. Thamos, we all have those games. I really wouldn't worry about it, man. And you picked up the win, so doesn't really matter. That's a W in the column. That's all that matters. We love to see those W's. As I was saying, the Smash team also picked up one of those W's over Bethel. Very good opponent that we've played a lot. We know a lot. So they picked up that win. They're now 5-1 in the GLEC because they also lost to Manchester on Saturday. Top team in the league, probably our biggest rival. So it was kind of expected to fall to them. So we're hoping, we learned a lot from that matchup. And then if we see them in the playoffs, we can take them on with that knowledge. So good showing from them. The NECC squad had a bye this week for Smash Bros. So little time off, and then this week they'll be starting back up again tomorrow. Good chance we're gonna have a stream for that. So tune in to see Valpo's NECC Smash Bros. Squad take on OWU Onyx. Should be an exciting one. Our last team we have to touch on here, Overwatch, Father Pyro's baby, if he's still in chat. They also did very well this week. Started off kind of rough in the GLEC, but this week we picked up 2 wins, one by forfeit, but we're still gonna count it. So very good performance against Manchester, and then unfortunately Defiance had to forfeit. So picking up 2 GLEC wins for Overwatch, and looking at the NECC, also picked up some wins there. We kind of had the week of Louisville with Beacon defeating Louisville Black and Shield defeating Louisville Red. So very good. Um, W is a W. That's what I always say. So good to see you guys start racking up some of those GLEC wins and hopefully making it to LAN here. Really, really excited to see how you guys do. Actually have one tonight. Unfortunately, not going to be on stream, so not the laughing emo. Oh man, we got Tristan in chat too. Everyone's showing out when I'm solo here. So very good week from Overwatch, and looking forward to what they're going to do. So now that we've kind of recapped these games from the past week, I want to take a moment to talk about a little bit of the history of Valpo Esports and how it came to be. I haven't been here the whole time, but being around, you pick up a lot and you kind of learn how this came to be. So we're now in year 4. That means in fall of 2019, the program officially kicked off. And as Tristan always likes to say, it was just 6 BCs and a few students, and now it turned into this. And from that first year, it was definitely, from what I've heard about talking to a lot of people, it was, you're competing for computers, just trying to get in there, just figuring this whole new thing out. And it was definitely a lot. And we had a League of Legends team and a Rocket League team in 2019, and it was it was fun to see that come together. I know that was something that Tristan wanted to have happen for a long time. So it was very good to get that started and get that going. Unfortunately, right as we're getting going, COVID gets in the way there. Obviously, COVID 19, very big impact on all universities. So, kind of transferring to having to enforce those policies, maybe doing some more things remote, definitely was a big obstacle to overcome. But we certainly did it. And in fact, we expanded into Smash Bros. And Overwatch in the following year, and we had Bryce, of course, our student coach. If you want to check out the website, I talked a lot with him about kind of his process of how he got to be in that role and how he started off as, hey, I'm a player, but we really need a coach. So now I'm going to kind of shift over to that role and help guide this team. And he was a really great force who's still here, obviously, guiding our teams. We're very happy to have him. On the Smash Bros. Side, we had Shannon, who is also a student coach. Wonderful Zelda player. Got a chance to watch her play a few matches before she eventually left, but she was very integral in kind of starting that whole program, getting more people playing Smash Bros. And was very passionate about it. So I think it was very important to have someone with the passion for the game there to kind of establish the program. Looking over to the League of Legends side, I also talked with Chase, and there's another article on the website. So if you want more information on how all these coaches got to be involved in Valpo Esports, those are stories that are there. But just to kind of recap it, he was always very into esports, big League of Legends guy, and he was a Valpo alum. So when he heard about this program, he just kind of had to reach out, really wanted to be involved in being part of this special program. So he hopped on in the second semester of the League of Legends team, and it was a very interesting process. And he's certainly come a long way and been able to build that environment and overcome those obstacles. And he's another one who is still with us here. Also, Coach Jeff uh, in Rocket League, he's been here pretty much since the beginning and very passionate about Rocket League. So all of our coaches have been, kind of coming here because this is really something they wanted to build and be involved in, and they've seen a lot of progress throughout the years. Take a sip of water here. So one of the bigger transitions was basically the expanding of that lab. We used to be up on the second floor in more of a closet environment, and we expanded from those 6 PCs later on to filling out the full lab area on the second floor to about 12 PCs. So able to accommodate multiple teams at a time and make sure we have everyone in there. We also had the back room separated off for competition space, and that helped a lot, but we were still growing. So, probably the biggest move, biggest expansion for the program to date was moving to the basement in the fall of 2022. We took over the space that I'm in now. Used to be the old marketing space, and it is just sprawling. It is triple, maybe 4 times the size of the old esports lab, and it has been a very exciting change for all of our teams. We now have this room where we can stream. We have a dedicated separate room where the Smash Bros teams play. We have offices for me and the coaches, and we have another space where students can go to study and kind of, you know, zone in and spend some time on academics. Then, of course, we have even more PCs to accommodate our ever growing player base of student athletes. And that also grew just within the last semester. Yet another bit of growth here with the Overwatch Club team. Very exciting development where we can bring in players that aren't necessarily hyper competitive like our other students, and they can still compete, have a good time once a week, and play in that team environment. So that's something that's been a very good development that potentially could expand to other games in the future. Getting a club team for Rocket League League of Legends. So lots of exciting things for this program. And as I reflect on this and my knowledge of other college esports, especially with this new lab and with all of our dedicated coaches, this program really does have a lot more resources and a lot more organization and manpower at its disposal than a lot of these other programs where they're struggling to find, coaches for every team. You got one guy who's trying to direct everything. It really has been a very nice transition for Valpo Esports, and full credit to Tristan, our director, really setting the pace and setting the tone for this program and making sure it's like a varsity athletic program. That's something that he really hammers in is, he wants esports to be recognized as alongside the other sports, dedicated practices, dedicated coaches, and it really has grown into that. And it's been incredible to see the progress in just the 2 years I've been here. I know there's so much more growth that I missed in the early days and so much more that I'll miss going forward, but it truly has been a great experience to be part of this. Um, of course, Tristan's in chat and he wants to give credit to me and the players and the coaches, not to him, but he definitely deserves some of it. But everyone certainly puts in their fair share, and I'm very proud to see the way it's grown since those 6 PCs to now 70 students. So, esports really has been booming and growing incredibly rapidly. Very proud to see what these teams can do in the future, and little bit of a shorter episode since it's just me, but I think we did a decent job filling the time and talking about some of the backstory here of the program. And I'm glad to have all of you in chat interacting and hyping each other up. Especially glad to see Cookie Kappa, one of our new recruits. You'll be able to see everything I'm talking about here very soon, I'm sure, and be a part of even more growth for us. So thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow we're gonna have some Smash Bros versus OW Onyx in the NECC, and then on Wednesday we will have some NECC League of Legends action. So thank you guys for tuning in to a shorter solo episode of the Beacon Breakdown. Next week I'll be joined by somebody. It'll be a surprise, so you're gonna have to tune in to see. So thank you very much for spending a little bit of your Monday evening with me, and I will see you guys next time.